record this. All right, I think we're recording. Can anyone see a little red light?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So for the purpose of the video, the idea is that we'll run through a few prospecting scenarios and search scenarios. I'm going to use LinkedIn as well as Google. And I'm actually going to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And this is very similar to the way I'm approaching our advertising and sponsorship sales for the video channel that's going on alongside COVID whilst events are quiet, let's say. So let's just go into it. So what I'll do is I'll use well, let's use, we'll use a couple of examples, I suppose. Let's use Johannesburg. So one of the things you can do is search events in Johannesburg. And you can look at event guides. I don't know what the most popular ones there directly, but I'm going to use 10 times. 10 times is one we bring up in training a lot. It's one of the better known directories, I suppose. But let's look at what's coming up. February. Okay, Executive Secretary Live Johannesburg, trade show. We've got to watch. A lot of these have switched now to virtual events.
Yeah.
Got postponed. Okay, that's the caravan show. I was going to say probably difficult to run a caravan show virtually, but maybe not. I mean, to take people in, this is the beauty of video, to take people in live stream with video around different models of camper vans, and I think you'd get a real interest with that. Okay, so let's take that one for example. The Gallagher Convention Center is one that we've had the DMG events, the hotel show at before, so it's familiar. And that could be a good one just to zero in for the purpose of what we're talking about at the moment. Pretty high profile, I would imagine. Is that right, Tessa? You're in Johannesburg. Are you a
Yeah,
vanner?
Gallagher's just down the road from where I live, and caravanning is very popular in South Africa.
Okay, we've got a wedding expo as well there. That kind of hits two birds, so to speak, at the same time. Wedding expo and potential weddings where we can be the booking agent. Mm-hmm. That's a good one. Okay, well, let's use, like I say, I'm not fussed whether they're happening in February or whether they're postponed till July or August or whatever. But for the purpose of this, because, you know, as we've said in previous meetings, we can still contract them. There's nothing to stop you still from contracting these guys on the understanding that, you know, we will postpone with the event. But the advantage for the show is that it's all done and dusted. It's all arranged. They have a hotel partner. We can even create a PBA. We can put a selection of hotels on that PBA. And that starts to warm up the audience that they do have options, even if there's no rates or availability, there's still a PBA that is set up, and it starts to create kind of that brand awareness and trust in our partnership with that event. It's something we can publicize, or you can publicize, something it gives them something to talk about while the market's a bit dead at the moment. You know, these people are still on mailing lists. They might have 20, 30,000 people connected on their Facebook pages. These events need to make noise. They need to keep the conversation going, even if it's postponed, and you can be part of that, and you can be a reason. So there's lots and lots of reasons for them still to contract with you, and it gives you time to warm things up. Clearly, we have a growing market that we can offer in return for them from a publicity point of view. You know, they're on Hotels TV. We're doing a deal at the moment around the US on digital screens to show our TV shows to 30 million you know, 25, 30 million travelers right around the US. We're talking to destination organizations, you know, such as Mexico, the Mexican, what is it called? Caribbean. It's called the Mexican Caribbean, which is Cancun and down that southern arm of Mexico. Los Cabos, talking to the organizer, so that we can create a TV show for them and air that across Hotels TV and across Reach TV and the other channels that we go out on. But either way, it's all publicity. So some of these may be international shows and would benefit from exposure to an international audience. There may be ways we can create an audience more locally driven. And this is, might have the possibility of bringing in the Johannesburg Tourism Association, for example, or, you know, and having them work with us on this. So just because it says postponed, it doesn't say cancelled. If it said cancelled, fine, leave it. But if it's postponed, it's still happening. And that means people are still working on it. So let's dig a little deeper. How do we get in touch with them? So we go into source them. Okay, it's about caravans. We know that. It's got the organizers' details down here. It's got the number of exhibitors. So we're up to 219 exhibitors. You can even look at the exhibitors list. And if you really want,
sorry, what did you go into here? Source
exhibitors, just here. So I clicked on the name, Caravan Show. I just clicked on the name and it took me into the next page. And along the top is about, followers, reviews, exhibitors, photos, speakers, travel deals. So we're still on 10 Times website. So this is not the organizer's website. We're still on there. But 10 Times, the reason people come to them is because they provide a reasonable amount of information. So use it. So they've actually had the exhibitors, or they've either had the exhibitors come and register on 10 Times, or they've gone out and they've got people working in their office in India adding this stuff onto 10 Times. And they've got all the exhibitors that'll be there. And they've also got their websites, right? So these people are traveling potentially to the event. Okay, whether it's happening or it's happening later. So let's go into Allo Caravans. Hello. All right. So what am I looking for here? What do you think I'm looking for by clicking on to Allo Caravans?
Their contact details.
Yeah. I want to know where they are. All right. So the first thing I'm going to look at, where's Boksburg in relation to Johannesburg?
It's close to Gallagher, so they wouldn't really travel unless it's like a 3-day.
Well, that's what I'm looking at. So they're nearby. Okay, so that's fine. But so what I'm looking for here are the ones that are not located in Johannesburg. Right? And anyone they send up, they'll probably send 3 or 4 people up. Okay, now that's kind of a long-winded way of doing it, but it's quite a good way, especially while things are quiet at the moment, to get in touch, give them a call and say, hey, look, you know, we'd love to help you. And then I'll show you how I use that as well. So these guys are in Durban. All right. Yeah. So these guys are exhibiting, but they're in Durban. So you give them a call and say, hey, we understand you're going up. You know, we're working with this particular event if you are. And, you know, we're going to put together some hotels. If you've got anywhere to stay, you've already organized it as part of the event, we're going to offer you discounted rates. So, or you get their admin details and you put it into an email system and you email them as far as that goes. Okay. Hi, Jeff. I see Jeff's joined us down there. So that's one way of doing it. So that helps you drill down and start to understand who's going to be attending this event, which is great. Okay. Now you've got followers here. You got all these people. Why are they following it? There's a trader, Bali, Indonesia, Johannesburg. I mean, if you really want to start building your lists and getting busy, all these people are connecting for some sort of reason. You'd have to drill in, but you've got 600 of them that all like the caravan show for whatever reason. Okay, but that's all fine. So that's a bit of background. So it just shows you what data is out there already behind this particular event that you can understand before you even start. Now, what are the ways that I would go in? I like, whenever I'm selling anything, I like leverage. Some of you guys probably have heard me say it before. I've said it on the videos. Leverage is a wonderful thing. Now, I would go and call that caravan company in Durban, right? Strike up a relationship with them, have a little bit of a chat. I'd say I would email them a few bit of information. I'll give them a link once we set up the private booking area. All right. See, these guys have this is how important hotel bookings are. 10 times as using all this kayak booking, find a hotel as an affiliate to make some extra commission because they know hotels are important. That's why it's popped up. But anyway, so I would go to that company, whoever they were, whatever their name is. And now what I would do, I'd write that down on my notepad because I'm going to use that when I speak to the event as a name to drop. So I'm going to say, hey, we understand you've got lifestyle caravans going. I had a chat to them. They're really keen to book accommodation for your event through us. Before I even say anything, that's what I would do. It connects me to the event. It makes me familiar. It puts me on the inside. I'm no longer this guy that's just calling up to see if I can win their business. I already have their business. I'm already working with some of their customers that are attending the event. It is a no-brainer now for these guys to want to use me and use our hotels because I'm already working with one of their clients. So I've now just found all my facts, and what I've done is put it together so that it gives me some familiarity and some leverage when I'm going in there straight away. And now, okay, the caravan show up here. It was about, I think there was a link to, was there a link to the organizer? There usually is, maybe in the About Us. Organizer. So here's the organizer's details down here. Anything else down here? Oh, there you go, participants. 50,000 to 200,000 visitors, that would be web, 500 exhibitors, based on previous editions, timings, entry fees, dates, official links. There you go. Contacts. So we've got a contact, log in to sign up. I'm sure I'm already in there. There you go. I'm already there. Contact details. Oh, look at that. Boschard response. Okay. So I've already found that information. Response.com. Find out who response.com is. So it doesn't look like it's an event organizer, but that's what they gave me on there. And that's why I went straight to the domain name to see if that domain name correlated. So Boschard at response. Now what I'm going to do is I'm also going to go into LinkedIn. And I'm just going to put that email address in Boschard at response, see what it comes up with. Response campaigns, response tech. Okay, let's go back and have a look. Okay, let's go back in here. There was a contact anyway. I'm trying to kind of make it a bit harder for myself, but let's go in and click the organizers link. There we go. So we're now on the organizers official website. So if you're going to set up a hotel booking link, it's going to be on this page. All right. And first thing I'm looking for now is, are there any hotel partners visit exhibitors. I'm assuming that is lodging, or it just could be tent sales. I'm not sure. No, it's gear. Okay. And as we said before, one of the ways you can approach these guys is to also say, hey, you know, we've got a channel. We'd love to give you some free promotion in return for across our channel, in return for becoming your exclusive accommodation partner. That would be one very easy opening line that you could use. And I would also bring up the fact we're already working with one of their caravan exhibitors. So those two things will get you through doors. They'll get you through gatekeepers. They'll get you to the right person to talk to. You are no longer a salesperson. You're an accommodation partner before you've even contracted anything. You know, you've got people talking to you and listening to you because you're actually talking to their customers, their exhibitors. So really important. So visit exhibitors. So this is the exhibitors list. Once again, you can go into look at all that. So there's nothing about accommodation, which is what I was looking for. So that's great. So we know they don't have a partner, but we know there are some people and are some exhibitors that are traveling from different parts of the country to go to it. And we've got this other little contact name, which is good. So let's have a look at this. Okay, so caravan show. I'm looking for what I'm looking for now is just some official details about the show. I'm looking for a name. I'm looking for, here's a video.
Being stuck at home
Let's watch a video quickly.
That's what Stays is for. A private Stays holiday home at the beach. You don't have to go.
Skip that.
I've just arrived at the Gallagher State Convention Centre. They've got a caravan and outdoor show here, and we're going to have a look and see what there is to see. Come on, let's go.
Okay. I hope this isn't their professional video. Still, it's video. At least they have video circulating out there. It's had 3,000 views. Oh, outdoor camping and outdoor TV subscribers. Okay. So this is kind of what the event is, I guess. So, okay, but it's not official. So,
what about going back to the contact thing there? Because it says department. Maybe there's different departments.
Reserve a stand, visitor information. Yeah, they're not giving the email address away. It sits behind the page. It's a very old form. It's a very old website to have this sort of stuff on it. Visitor information. Let's have a look, see if there's anything there about the show. Oh, you can download PDFs and all sorts of stuff. Let's just have a look on LinkedIn. If caravan show Johannesburg, see if there's anything come up under that. Or you can go into Google as well. Yeah, caravan show Gower. Web tickets, caravan show, go on, caravan show. Yeah, this takes us back to that one. Well, there's the number. I guess, up there, so you can just give them a call.
Mm.
That might be the easiest way. What I was hoping is they'd come up somewhere here, so we can trace them in LinkedIn. One of the things I would do here is also go into using Sales Navigator, which is the add-on to LinkedIn, but it's a way of creating lists as well. Doesn't want to load. Here we go. So just go in and search here, caravan show. Yeah, it may be that they don't have a LinkedIn profile. So normally what we would do is if we had a LinkedIn profile, like for example, say the next event, if I pick another one, the Wedding Expo. Let's see if the Wedding Expo does. I would create a list within Sales Navigator. So Wedding Expo Santon. Editor at Wedding Inspirations Magazine. So we'd have to find wedding. Actually, we go back to 10 times on that one as well. Do the same sort of thing, click into it. Followers, exhibitors 458. There's a list of exhibitors there for the Wedding Expo as well. Official link. Looks like they've got an app too. So there you go, info wedding-expo. That's general. Once again, we want something a bit more specific than that. You could even call their number and just say, look, who's the person? I want to send them some information or have a chat to them when they're on the phone. Okay, so here we go. The Wedding Expo is there. Couples involved, premier wedding event, City of Gold. Is that coming up? Is it not cancelled? Is not cancelled. Love is not cancelled, but maybe the event is. I don't know. Okay, contact us. And the good thing, one of the best things at the moment is that a lot of these will not have engaged their hotel partner yet because they don't have a date. And some, if there are any, and there's not that many competitors out there doing what we do, if there are any, they're not contracting these guys at the moment because they don't have dates and they don't have hotels and dates. Whereas you can make it up on a PBA, create the hotels. To be honest, you don't even need the permission of the hotels to add them onto there because they're already on the platform, or you can add them onto the platform. And as soon as they have rates, you can then negotiate with them at that point. But it puts you in a position that you're contracted to the event. If anyone looks at it, then you've got these hotels in place they will assume you've got contracts in place. So right now it's a great time to get ahead of the pack because the rest have just stopped. So these guys don't have the email address there. Here we go. Managing director, right there, email Amanda, and there's Amanda's phone number. So right there, you've got Amanda's details, all right? And if you want to find out a little bit more about Amanda, you could even go into LinkedIn and we'll probably need a little bit more information on her there. Wedding Expo, maybe. Oh, there she was.
I think that is her.
Yeah, looks like her. She's come up with different posts. I think there's only one. So great. Okay. I've been the event management, marketing, communication for 30. You can read all about her. You know where she is. She's in Gauteng. Contact information. Yep, that's hers. She's also got another website called Wedding Inspirations. You've got her phone number from the actual page here. So you're all ready. So what you then do is do a little bit of research about the event. See if you can find out anything historically. You'd use 10 times and use that information to say, okay, it's in March. At this stage, it hasn't been cancelled. Okay, so what I would do, you could write to her through the email address before, but I'm going to just write her a quick note now. Okay, so so because I've got Sales Navigator, it's come through to Navigator, and it allows me to send a message or save her to a list. So what I would do is I would save her. I'd create a new list that says South Africa events, something like that. Create and save. So now she's saved into that. And then I would send her a message. It allows me to put a title, hotels.tv. Promoting events, just to get her attention. And then I would say something like, hi, Amanda, it would be great to connect. We work with DMG events and other and we work with DMG events, WTM Africa, and also, so I'm not going to say we're providing the accommodation for them, because we're not with those particular events, but I'm going to intimate it. Okay, and I'm going to intimate lots of things so they can. It's a gray area. Once again, it doesn't really matter, but what I'm trying to do is capture her attention and give ourselves credibility at the same. We're great to connect. We work with DMG events, World Travel Market, Africa, DMG events. I'll put here the hotel show, because that's a major one, and provide I'll put as media partners, and can also provide hotels with exclusive negotiated rates just for your event. Would love to chat about the wedding expo. Looks fab. Love to help you. Even if postponed, it's okay, but looks possible? Question mark. Please let me know when is a good time to chat. Something like that, something familiar, something interesting, something that lets them know that I'm connected and I know the industry, and that, you know, I'm someone almost friendly. Bess Harrison. All right, and that's it. I knew there was a dog in here. I thought all the dogs had left the room, and I could smell one. I could smell a dog, and I've just found one hiding underneath. Anyway, so basically that's it. So what I would do at that point is I've now saved them into a list. So if I go into my lists here on Navigator, I've got South African events. I've got one person in it. Now, what you can do, the good thing with Sales in Navigator is that there's another little function here. If I go back, let me go See where it is. And it usually says view similar, view similar. So it starts to create a list. I haven't really put anything in. It allows you to build lists in Navigator. It's a great tool. Event organizer. There's a keyword, geography. We'll put Johannesburg. But that's, you know, not every event is run by in Johannesburg is run by an event organizer in Johannesburg. Some are run by events organizers all over the place. But let's say it's City of Johannesburg, event coordinator. No, I haven't got enough information in there. View all filters. Let's view all filters. So events. Keyboard is not working very well. So events, geography within Africa. South Africa.
What are you looking for now? Because I got disconnected.
I'm just showing in LinkedIn Navigator as a tool, you can create lists. So you can search all of LinkedIn and you can put in, oh, there we go. I've got it in there. You can create lists. And I was just going to show you that it starts to build this profile language, really custom list, past leader. We don't need that. Seniority level. You don't need probably that. You can narrow all these searches down because sometimes they return thousands. Company headcount, past company. So we do a search. For some reason, I've got nothing coming up. Hang on. Where we do a new search. So if we do a if we're specific about weddings. South Africa. Okay. So I put in wedding planning, South Africa, and it's given me 5,500 results so far. So this is why you start narrowing down. So wedding venue. Let's try that. Event wedding venue manager is quite specific, but that's good in South Africa. So let's say we just wanted that. There's over 1,000 of those because remember, if we've got a wedding venue, we can contact them. Brides and grooms, contact them directly. They can provide those details to you and then you can go and contact them. So that's another good way of doing it. So if you wanted to build a list of wedding venue managers, there's your list. And you can then start to, you know, reduce that, fine tune it. But it's got boutique hotel, garden venue, wedding function. So these are all pretty good. So you can then select all of these and you can save them to a new list and create a new list, which is wedding venue managers, South Africa, create that list. And now you've got it. Now each one of these, then you can then go into, so wedding venues at Hemingway's, that's a hotel. So if you try to keep away from the hotels, because you know there's already rooms there, like Sogo Sun's a hotel. So you just go to wedding venue manager. Okay, no results like that. Okay, but what it allows you to do is click on the name. You can start, you can connect with them. So you start to build your profile on LinkedIn anyway, up with great quality connections, and they're going to post news and information and things. So you start to build your thousands of connections on LinkedIn with the types of people that if you do a post, like, you know, if I do a post now on my profile, which I did earlier today, just about our video channel, if I go into notifications, no, if I go into posts and activity, right, I've been collecting posts. I've been collecting details of luxury brands, connecting to luxury brands, the head of Moet Hennessy and Louis Vuitton, and I've been collecting all these and connecting with them. And so now that I've done that, I know that if I put this post up, Hotels TV channel is now reaching it's already had 56 views in the post, but I know it's going to my market. So it's almost like the most beautiful email marketing system, that if I build the right connections and then I post, I know that the people, wedding planners, event organizers, whatever you're building, will see this post. So
this
it's
goes
almost
via
like,
email.
it's not by email, it just goes out on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
It is them. So you've got these people that LinkedIn's the professional kind of Facebook, if you like. And so as you build your audience, this is the benefit of building a quality connection on LinkedIn, not just accepting everyone, accept the ones that you actually want to be connected to. Then whenever you post or put articles, or if you you could write your own article and it goes out and looks professional and gives you credibility and positions you as an authority in that marketplace. It builds you as a brand individually. And then you post articles about, hey, we're working with DMG Events on the hotel show. Hey, we're working with World Travel Market. And all of a sudden it positions you as an authority in this marketplace, and people start to come to you. The event organizers start to come to you, and that's the critical mass you want to get to. So
is this now within Sales Navigator, or are you just talking about generally on LinkedIn?
I'm just talking about generally on LinkedIn. Sales Navigator is an extension. It just allows you to create lists, but you could just use LinkedIn free, or on one of their lower price platforms. Sales LinkedIn Navigator is a bit more expensive, but for creating lists and getting right to the particular point that you need to, it's certainly worthwhile. But like anything, if you get it, use it, and build these lists and create these lists and make contact with them, because they will make you money. They will win you events. They will give you information that you don't normally have. So
can I just ask you?
Yes, jump in.
So if you're creating these lists and now you want to do a post, but those people are not part of your profile on LinkedIn, how do you get the post to those people on your list?
You can't. You've got a certain amount of that's why, there's an etiquette on LinkedIn.
Yeah, you got to be accepted.
Yeah, you just connect to them. Say, hey, I'd love to connect with you, right? And wait for them to connect to you back. Don't go in all guns blazing selling, because they won't want to connect to you. Right. So on LinkedIn, you need to do it subtly. Go to 10 times, look at the event, find the website, then pick up the phone and sell. Absolutely fantastic, because that's why you're there. And then when you put the phone down from these people, then go to LinkedIn, find them and connect to them, because you've already had a conversation with them. More often than not, they connect to you back, and now you've got them in the system. So the more active you are, commenting on other articles, not selling, commenting, you keep in front of people. When you've got something to say, you put it in an article and write it up really nicely, tips for working from home and all these things. And then if you've got something to say, hey, we're so excited, we just won this contract with World Travel Market Africa, we're now their hotel booking agent, it resonates through the platform, and it gives you credibility, and it opens the door for people to contact you. And if they don't contact you, you can then go back and pick up the phone because you know there's an event coming up and you can call them directly, but they've possibly seen your posts on LinkedIn, which has provided the credibility. So they're now about 100% more likely to take your call and speak to you because they've seen you active and seen you, and they're interested in you and they're connected to you. And it makes you more familiar. You know, they haven't just heard of you, you've warmed them up. You've warmed the way. You know, no one likes to cold call, and no one really likes to be cold called, right?
Yeah.
And the beauty about technology these days is that you can schmooze your way in to these situations beautifully in a really nice, warm way, as a connection, giving, contributing, helping, mentioning, sharing. Then you pick up the phone and call them because you need something, you know, and that's a much nicer way to do business than hitting them hard up front. So it means that you need to take your time, look through, this is what I keep saying, spend time each week in the right ways. Collect your lists, add them to your CRM, add them to your spreadsheet, look at the lists, contact the event organizers, go back to LinkedIn and like them, or connect with them, and go back to the events, send them an email through their website, send them an email through LinkedIn, pick up the phone and call them through the website because the event's coming up. Explain what we're doing, that we'd love to work with them. Can we, connect with them or send them some information, whatever you need to do to get round and do it in a way that is effective and is there to help them. So you learn about the event, and then write a friendly, informal message like I did, so that you've got the opportunity then, and then you can go back into messaging and you'll be alerted if they've come back, but you can always go into your messaging there, and hopefully they'll come back and connect and they'll mention. Sometimes what I've had is, let me give you some examples of this. Sometimes they've come back and said, no, I'm not the right person to talk to, but here is the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
Which is great. I get that a lot. I just had that here. I'm not the right person. Send an email to this person. Visit loscabos.travel. So it's a case
sent an email off to one of the event companies about 2 days ago, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
So this is where it becomes quite interesting. Who did you send it to at the event company?
I can't remember now.
But was it a specific person?
Yes, it was. No, sorry, it wasn't. It was actually the contact list. And I explained to them who we are, and I also just said to them at the end if they could connect me with the right person.
Okay, and it was a general inquiries at event name.
Yeah, but it wasn't one of those ones that says book a stand or things like that. It was just a general inquiry thing. Was it a form or was it an address? Yeah, no, it was a form on the internet.
Okay. Well, that's good, because if it was just an address, the chances are it could go into spam and they will never see it. If it's a form on a website, that's good. You've got to really give them a reason to call you back. And to use the reason, say, hey, I'd just love to chat. We're media partners with World Travel Market Africa and DMG, and the hotel show. I'd love to have a chat regarding helping you guys with more publicity. And kind of leave it at that. Don't go into too much detail. Remember, what is your objective? Your objective at that point is just to get them on the phone and get a conversation, not to tell them everything on their form. You're better talking to a live person. Now, what you can also do is go into something like LinkedIn, and especially in Sales Navigator, but you can do it in LinkedIn. Let's say I was looking for DMG events. Okay. When you go into LinkedIn, you do a search, it actually brings you up with the company information, event services, people, Asia, I wonder if I, Africa, there you go. So DMG Africa, search for accounts, search for leads. If I search for leads, it brings me up with everyone at DMG, right? And I can even go over here and be more specific. What is their role? What is their function? Their function is media and communications or marketing. Now it's going to drill down. What about geography, South Africa? Now I've reduced that down to 16. Now I can save my search. Okay, DMG events, South Africa. That means I can continue and go back to it tomorrow and not have to do the search again.
Yeah.
Head of marketing, transport, brand and advertising, Zara Hammer, know a couple of these people anyway at DMG. So, yeah, marketing contract position, market brand and advertising specialist. That's mining review because you've got so many events. Marketing manager. Okay, so once again, you didn't even have these details before. All you did was put into the search the event name or the organizer's name, and now you've got this list of people. So you're not shooting in the dark anymore. All right, Zara Eccles. Right, you can look at all the different positions she's had, how long she's been at the company. She's in Cape Town, right? And you go back over here, DMG events, Cape Town, contact us. There it is, DMG events in Cape Town. There's the phone number. You pick up the phone and you call Zara Eccles.
Yeah.
Hey, Zara, it's Tessa from Hotels TV. How you going? You know, you get straight through. So you send an email on their website, it goes to some assistant, they answer it, they don't, maybe they have spam filters connected to it, you don't really follow up for a few days because you don't want to be pushy, so you leave it 3, 4, 5 days, maybe it goes, you know, you could have had that sewn up in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You could have done a couple of searches, picked up the phone, and you'll know. So you either carry it on and send them some information and have a chat. If she can't talk to you right now, then you book another time. But that's how quick it can be, and directly to the right person. And if she's not the right person, then she'll tell you who the right person is.
Yeah.
But that's more specific. And then you'll probably get her email address. If her email address is not there, that's fine. And then the beauty about using technology is that if you go over to the right-hand side or you go back to the other page, if she is the main type of person and her position is accurate for what you want, and in the past, she was also the PR assistant for Good Food and Wine Shows, Gourmet South Africa. There's another opportunity right then and there. So one thing leads to another, but you know, you can then view similar. Oh, it hasn't come up with anyone, but in that role, maybe it's too refined, but if we went out and moved out with the geography a little bit, all of a sudden it can bring in other marketing managers or other events that are happening around South Africa. And that leads you to other people to call directly, being able to contact them on a first name basis. Yeah. So this is all started through just going on and searching events in Johannesburg. Now, as I've always said to you guys, if you niche down, it's far more effective. If you work in a niche, whether it's conventions, and if it's conventions and trade shows, what sort of conventions? Are they lifestyle or outdoor shows? Are they pharmaceutical conferences? What is it? Because if you can then do that, you can drill down so much more effectively. And quite often people know each other in the industry. So one person's dealing with that, like DMG events is an example of that. They have so many events that if you get one, you get 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 events at the same time. You don't just get the one. And that's the beauty about doing some research on it. But if you're specific to a particular type of event, or if you're particular to wedding venues, as we've done, just that combination between using a directory, fine tuning or funneling down into the actual websites to look at, getting the website and doing a little bit more research, taking it a step further and using it and looking at it on LinkedIn. If you've got Sales Navigator and you've got these other tools that can help you even more, then you're going to be even more successful. You're going to be able to go through so many and find so many more contacts. You're going to be able to contact so many more people. So a lot of people are reluctant to spend the money on these other tools. But, it's one of those things with business. You've got to make sure you use it for the best, and it's going to make you money, and it allows your business to scale up. If you can talk to 100 times the amount of people that you would have normally talked to doing it another way, then surely it's worthwhile. If all of a sudden you win 1 in 10 events that you talk to, so we're not talking about winning every single event. If you win 1 in 10 and you've contacted 100, then you've got 10 great events to look forward to, and so on. So it's a bit of a numbers game once you churn through your system. But if you spend a few hours a day or a few hours a week just doing that, building your contacts, saying, okay, I'm going to get 25 contacts out. I'm going to message 25 people today, and I'm going to do that every Monday. Now, I'm doing it with advertisers as sponsors for Hotels TV, and my goal is 50 contacts a day, because I know if I do 50, I've got one reply in 75, and I'm looking for luxury brands. My one reply was at Moet Hennessy, which is part of, but they've come back to me. I've messaged them and they've come back with interest. We've got an appointment set up. That was 1 in 75 messages sent out on Sales Navigator, just like that. So if I do 50 contacts a day, which doesn't take that long, maybe it takes half a day to do it. By 5 days, it's 250. By 2 weeks, it's 500 contacts I have out there. Yeah. So if I've got 500 contacts and I'm getting 1 in 75, if I go 500 divided by 75, that gives me six leads. And if I close 1 in 4 of the people that I talk to with the scale that I'm looking at with large scale, high profile luxury brands, that's significant. That's worth my while. And that's the way you've got to kind of look at it with your sales, is really get active, work on the numbers, know what you need to do, and churn through and do it. Get the job done. And then make lots of notes. Then go into your CRM. Now, if you've got Sales LinkedIn Navigator, you can actually keep notes on Navigator. You still need the CRM, because the CRM is your little black book. It's going to be there forever. It's yours. You can do email campaigns. You can do lots of things, that set appointments, give you a calendar, and so people can set their own appointment in your calendar. And this is where all your main information is stored in your sales pipeline. But if you're using this tool and you're using this, I'll just show you. When you go into here, actually, if it's in my lists, and the nice thing is, if someone new comes along that fits the profile on Sales Navigator, they are automatically added to your list. And there is a notification to say, hey, you've got 10 new contacts that have come into your list once it's created. which is a very, very clever function. But see, you can add notes. So this is a list that I've saved, right? If I've talked to whoever it is, this person, I can add a note here. Interested, appointment set. Now, this just stays with me. So if you look back here, I can look through, I can see. So it's its own little CRM in a sense that allows you to kind of organize yourself. And this is why LinkedIn's so popular. This is why it is ranked the #1 social network by quality, because of the audience you can get through to. And all these people are on there because they want to do business. They want the right connections. So it's a tool that's, you know, if it was something else, whatever it is, but to have these tools just save you so much time, but more importantly, allow you to contact and connect with more and more people. Tessa, getting back to your question, one of the reasons you can't group email to these types of lists is because that's really what you do not want to do. Because once you start sending blanket emails out to everyone, it completely works against the principles of LinkedIn and why everyone's on there. No one wants to be spammed.
No, you don't want to all be on one email. I understand.
And
that.
you don't want to, you want to receive contacts from interested people. The people that contact me, probably 6 or 7 out of 10 times, I'm interested in those conversations. And that's a really high percentage, I think, for any open platform. I can't say the same thing on Facebook. Now, Harry, you've seen probably some of the messenger, you know, looking at the Facebook. I don't know if you've gone into some of the contacts, people that send messages, and some of the messages are just incoherent, let alone irrelevant to anything that we're doing.
Completely different market. Yeah.
It really is. And that's why they don't allow it. So, but, you know, it also makes sure that you do your research, that you treat that contact with care and attention, because you don't want to lose it. You don't want them to disconnect from you. So you want to make sure it's quality.
So
Yep.
I've got a dash. I've got a meeting in 5 minutes. So,
okay. Yeah, no problem, mate.
All right. Thank you, though.
All right, cool. So yeah, you don't want to undo that relationship. And what you want to do is, to get the best result, you want to send them an informal message saying, hey, I'd love to connect. What's your email address? I'll send you some information. Then you move into another level. All the decent conversations on LinkedIn are moved offline.
Yeah.
Right? They're not online. They're all offline.
Yeah, it's really your connection.
Yeah, and they send you a message. They send you the email address, and then you do your business off through email, and then you connect. You do a Zoom chat, and then you're off and running. That's kind of what I found, and what everyone else's experience is probably the best way of doing business now, and of the highest quality, where you will get some. You will never close a deal on LinkedIn. It's not that sort of platform. It's not a click this link and buy my product sort of platform. It's networking. And then, but what happens is, you know, gives you the details, gives you a bit of a sense. You look through the past posts. I look through the past posts of, if I'm hiring someone, I actually was looking for someone recently in the US to do some selling. I had a chat with him. I liked him. He had a great story behind him. I thought he was really, really good. Something was fishy about him. I went on to LinkedIn and I looked through his posts, and this is what you can do. You can go onto people's posts, right? So let's go into Fernandez. It doesn't matter who it is. About activity. You see all their activity? See all activity. Now, if they've like this person, what they did was they commented. So she loves this. That's great. What has she commented on? One comment, she likes it. She likes it. 2 comments. No, that's not her though. That's 2 comments for the article. She likes that. She like, now this person, she commented on this. What did she say? My prayers are with you and your family. Okay, that's very nice. Well, I found out that this guy had lied to me about one of the jobs that he'd done, and that the biggest contract he got was actually 20 years ago. That's what I found out from his comments that he wrote on a post to someone else. But all that's public.
Yeah.
But it gives you a sense also to read their comments of who they are, how they think, what makes them tick, what they love, what inspires them. And you know, one of the best things about sales is when you talk to them, I wrote it down the other day. There was a really interesting thing on on LinkedIn. It was someone's post. I think it was on something else. The 5 things you should do to be memorable in any connection, right? Number 1 was show genuine interest, right? Number 2 was then compliment them. Number 3 was ask 2 or 3 open-ended questions, right? To get them talking. Number 4 was find something you share, something that you both have in common. Right? And number 5 was say their name before you go out of the conversation, and take the key facts and set them in your memory so you kind of remember that for the next time. They were the 5 ways of being so successful or more successful at any sort of meeting or connection.
But the other one that's left out, Harrison, is you got to ask them, how are they? Because very often people will make comments about a situation or whatever, or talk about themselves or something like that, but they never ever ask that person how they are, how they're feeling, or you know, whatever.
Absolutely. And that I would put that under number 1 though, genuine interest. Have genuine interest in those people. Be genuinely happy to see them and to meet them. If you meet them face to face at a function, at an event, which we'll all get back to, you know, show genuine interest in meeting that person. You know, and just reverse it. Anyone who's ever done that to you has become memorable to you, possibly a contact. You felt good after the interchange, right? This is no different in a digital world now. And the more you can find out about someone, read through their comments, you know, they're empathetic, they're this, they're that, or they like certain things. When you go on and send a message, you know, you can show all these things in a very brief message, which gives them a good feeling about you and that you're worth connecting to. And then when you do meet on Zoom, you follow that sort of, you know, have genuine interest in them, compliment them on what they do. Say, look, I had a look at your profile. That's amazing. You know, the stuff that you've done over the last few years, you know, and you work for that company, that's great. You know, you must be really pleased with the way that turned out. You know, it builds rapport. It shows your interest, makes them feel good, you know, and it's great first impression. So these are the things that we can find out. So just finding an event and picking up the phone cold, right, and going, hey, do you want someone to help you with your hotel bookings? You see the difference now. It's chalk and cheese. It's chalk and cheese. That's why I've always said on the videos as well, spend the time researching, spend the time looking at the event, spend the time understanding the event. What happened last year and the year before? And you've got so much to talk about these days. You've got so much in common with COVID and everything else that you've got so many talking points to find something to share and empathize. But It's looking at the website. Do they have a hotel partner or not? You know, no, there's no hotel partner. Great, tick. That's a good opportunity for me. You know that you can go in now and say Hotels TV is a digital channel and a media partner for events, as well as a hotel booking agency. Look, we can provide you with a booking system. We can give you great rates. We'd love to do that for you. But to be honest, what we do in return is if you give us exclusivity over that, we'll give you promotion and marketing for free across our channel. We'll create a page. We'll give you mentions each month in on our social media. And we'll do what we can to give you free publicity as a media partner. But what we would like in return, you know, we can give you kind of $10,000, $15,000 worth of marketing value. What we would like in return is to be your exclusive booking partner. That's it. And you send out emails to your database, just letting them know and put a link on your website that, you know, they can book the best rates here, and we'll guarantee you that, you know, we'll make sure we get the best rates with a select group of hotels. That's the conversation. That's it. And I have pitched that and won deals with a pitch that goes no longer than that, right? But the reason I got it is because I did all this work first. I learned about the event. I understood when it was happening. I connected to them on LinkedIn. You know, I wasn't unfamiliar in a sense. You know, I'd complimented them. We'd had shared a funny joke, and all of a sudden I've come in with, it's a no-brainer. It's just a no-brainer. They go, yeah, well, great. Let's do it. Okay, great. I'll send an agreement over and let's get started. I've got a few hotels that are already really interested to give you some beautiful, look, it's a wedding, right? Right. So what I always say is that, look, I've already got some hotels really interested. I won't tell you who they are now. I'll tell you later, but they are beautiful boutique hotels that would be stunning for weddings and wedding guests to stay at, wedding couples to stay at. And as soon as you mention the word boutique and weddings and luxury hotels, they're like, oh, that sounds great. You know? So that's it, really. So I just wanted to, I guess, share that with you guys today as a way of training, and hopefully this is recorded so we can share it with the other guys. But just to dig that little bit deeper, use the tools that are available to you. Do not be put off or scared by events being postponed, because that can always change. Some events are still in there ready to go. And get the message out there. Sell them on the idea that getting you involved sooner means that you can start giving them publicity sooner. Don't give me the contract to be your hotel booking agent 6 weeks before the event. It's too late. You know, we want to help people now. We were going to help the hotels, and it's a great, we're helping hotels recover from COVID by working with you. How good is that? To help the tourism industry, you know, recover. We want to choose hotels nearby and help place some of your bookings in those hotels. Not give it to booking.com. You know? So that's a great pitch. Everyone wants the tourism industry to survive and to thrive and help, and, you know, so these are all things that you can do. It's just, once again, it's how you position yourself in the conversation. So yeah. So any questions on any of that?
No, I think it's great. It's just for me, myself, to understand the whole online working scenario, because I mean, I haven't really been involved in that kind of thing. So, and that's familiarity. You've got to get onto it and do it and find out and work your way through it.
Use YouTube as well. You know, half of the stuff I learn quickly through YouTube. I go onto YouTube and I type it in and I go, what's the quickest way to learn LinkedIn? And you know what? Someone's made a video because someone thought exactly like you and thought, oh, I can get 1 million followers if I put a video out that helps people use LinkedIn more effectively.
Yeah,
Now,
my friend always told me that.
you don't have to use Navigator, and you wouldn't use Navigator first. You would just use LinkedIn. You would use that when you've exhausted its potential and the way it works. Then you would go, okay, I need something more. I need something that allows me to create lists.
That's exactly what my thought process has been while you were busy here.
Yep. But it is, you know, you've got to use this stuff that's out there, because the reason it's big and so popular is because it saves everyone so much time. If it was really complicated, it wouldn't have taken off. You know, these things have to be pretty simple for people to use, or they don't take off. They're too complicated. People don't have patience online. If they can't get it within 15, 20 minutes of messing about and, you know, it's interesting to them, then they don't hang around. And then you just get better and better at it. And then you start relying on it. I look at it every day, many times a day. I refresh so many times a day, and I read headlines. It's just great for quick. But because of the companies I've followed, so you can follow your favorite companies, but don't fill that up full of companies that you like personally because they're fun and it suits your personal life. Fill it up with the companies that you want for business. And that means when you refresh your front page, it means all your activity, all your posts, that these are posts from all my contacts, right? And it means it's going to be relevant. So I can flick through and go, that's relevant, that's relevant, that's relevant. This isn't about me. This is about my business interests. So it means I can stay on top of news and information and trends, as well as understand, like so many times, all of a sudden, something new's happened. A hotel's just launched and someone's talked about it, and I click on it, and it's a hotel that we can recruit or use for an event or make a video for, or something. It leads to something. It's created an awareness that if I just didn't tune into this, I wouldn't have a clue what's going on. I can't keep across every destination in the world. And this is why it's so valuable. You can also join groups. So I've joined social media marketing, Buzz Expo China, hotel technology. You can join event organizers groups, and they all chat about events and what's going on with COVID. There'll be a South Africa event organizers group. They share stories, contacts. It's networking. That's all it is. And sometimes it's good for problems. You know, you can go, hey, does anyone know how to solve this? I've got this issue, and everyone loves putting their bid in. So, you know, as you get more and more used to it, it can be very good. You don't have to use it. You could just go traditionally through these sorts of things. You could find events. You could look at their website and pick up the phone and call them. You can still do that. It's just that your success rate is far higher when you show a bit more understanding and research and care. You become more knowledgeable. You know, you then have a little bit of background, you know, you can search and find the right person to talk to. Whereas here it's kind of stabbing in the dark, unless they've put their name on it, which she happens to have put her name on it. That makes it easy, but quite often they don't necessarily put their name on it. In fact, no, it's not necessarily true. With events, quite often there's an event organizer name because they want exhibitors to sign up. So they want to be contacted. So that makes it a little bit easier. But you can take that contact name, put it into LinkedIn, learn a bit about them first, learn how long they've been in the role, learn what they've done before, how experienced they are, what they like, and that gives you a bit of a head start for when you actually pick the phone up and call them. And sometimes you can even, under their contact information, if you go under contact info here, sometimes you can get a phone number, and a lot of times you actually get their personal email address. So, you know, it goes directly to them. And the reason they do that is because sometimes people like to be headhunted and they don't want their business or their job to find out, because LinkedIn is a bit of a headhunting and a job website as well, careers website.
Right.
But quite often they put their personal Gmail account so that if someone is headhunting,
But you can't
they
get
can
that on
contact-
normal LinkedIn.
to be honest, I don't know. I have the next level up. I can't remember even what it's called. I pay
Yeah, you've
$30,
gone on to premium or something like that.
something like that. I pay about, I think it's about $30 a month. It's, I get it now included in LinkedIn Navigator. I pay about $80 a month. It's about $80 a month for LinkedIn Navigator.
Mm.
But if it's going to make me $100,000 sale, it's worth it. If it's going to make you $5,000 from an event in commission, it's worth it. It's just one of the tools you need to be successful. But my advice to anyone running one of these businesses is schedule the time in religiously in your calendar and stick to it so that you make sure you make the most of it. You know, once again, it comes down to self-discipline, being self-employed and pushing yourself. And sometimes with all the distractions we have with another job or business or home life or whatever, we can switch off. And I can tell you, most of the agents have switched off since COVID. Now, I kind of understand that, but I kind of don't understand it at the same time, because these things are still out there. So as it's your business to spend one day a fortnight, one day a month, prospecting and building up contacts, surely it's worth it when things get back to normal, unless you don't think it's ever going to get back to normal. And that's a different conversation altogether. But, you know, already we're 10 months into COVID. That's 10 months. I've had some of the most amazing conversations with people that would have been very difficult to reach otherwise. And COVID has made it so they're available and they're happy to talk and they're happy to communicate and work through things. We've had 10 months of opportunity to create some amazing connections with event organizers that you could work with for the next 10 years, you know, and it's still going on. The negative is COVID's still going on. The positive is that COVID's still going on and these event organizers still are available to talk to. They're not so rushed off their feet with working the event and planning the next event, and they've got other considerations, but they're contactable, you know. So it's actually a really good time to build your contracts, build your key points. And now we've got the TV channel. It gives you guys another bit of leverage to say, hey, look, you know, we can be your media partner as well as your hotel booking agent.
Yeah.
And let's work together. Let's give you some exposure for free. But look, I do hotel bookings. That's how I make money. So give me the hotel bookings and you get the marketing for free.
Okay, it's great.
All right. Great, guys. All right.
Thank you very much, Harrison.
Yeah, Harrison, thank you very much indeed.
Pleasure. Nice to see you on, Sam.
Yeah, I'm around again.
All right. Well, look, we're doing it every week.
Thank you so much, Harrison.
Yeah, you're welcome, mate. The odd week we might miss here and there, but the idea is to keep the conversation flowing, keep the training flowing, keep dipping in and out, so you guys know we're here. We're not going anywhere. We're focused on the future. So yeah, anything you need in the meantime, let us know. Otherwise, we'll be here every Wednesday.
Okay then, mate.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Be safe. All right. See you
you.
soon. Bye for now.